Hi, I'm Kaelan Deese with the Washington Examiner, and I'm here joined today with Coach Joe Kennedy. And Mr. Kennedy, it has been quite a wild journey through your process. You have been to the Supreme Court and back. You've been through a multi-year litigation battle, fighting for your right to pray on the midfield after prayers. And tell us a little bit about, I mean, like you were a coach at Bremerton and Washington State, and you were relieved of your duties in 2015. And just last year, the Supreme Court gave you a very good 6-3 ruling in your favor. And tell us a little bit about what's happened since then.
Yeah, it's been really crazy. What a long ride. I really thought that everything could be worked out within a week of us, when this first started. But yeah, I guess lawyers don't work that way. So yeah, long, hard battle. Very frustrating to lose 7 times in a row. But finally having the Supreme Court ruling on the actual facts of the case, which is, I know, ridiculous that it would wait that long before somebody looked at the facts. But as soon as I got there, it's been tough. There's a whole new coaching staff. The kids that I'm coaching, they were in grade school when all of this was going on when I was fired. So it's been a long road. So I have to learn everything all over new again. And I feel a little bit rusty out there in the field.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, it's been so many years, but the fact that you're not just at another school, but you're back at the original school that fired you is, quite the phenomenon. I think, a lot of people who were aware of your situation were seeing this as like, oh, he might go to like a different school, but being back at Bremerton, it probably has to be kind of surreal. Have you felt like there's been, a warm welcome, warm reception? Like what's it been like and sort of getting geared up for the season?
Yeah, as far as the kids go, it's been very warm. The coaches have been civil. The community's been great. Every time I go somewhere, I have somebody coming up and said, "Oh, we prayed for you." And so, yeah, there's been just an outpouring from day one from the community and especially across the entire nation throughout America. I mean, millions of Americans. The school district, not so much. They're not really happy I'm here. They wish that this would all go away. They keep calling me the 8-year distraction. And so, yeah, um, maybe they'll get over it. Maybe they won't. But I'm here. We're going to have our first game Friday. And I get to bring God right back into the schools that's been absent for 50 years.
Yeah, and it's been quite the journey for us too. Whenever you and I first spoke, it was still in the heart of, whether the Supreme Court was actually, they're still toiling with your case. And, the fact now that we have this outcome, now it's become an inspirational story. I've seen the photo of you outside the Supreme Court where you're kneeling and doing the same pose that you would be doing on the field when you're giving your prayers. You've given one of the most iconic, I think, Supreme Court photos in recent time. And then not to mention that, but you have this book that's coming out. It's called Average Joe. And not only that either, but there's also going to be a movie that's going to be made by the same producers, creators of God's Not Dead. So I'd love to talk about this because I mean I think this is finally sort of going to become a story that people are going to know from start to finish, not just in the headlines. What can you tell us about the book and the movie if you can?
Right. Yeah. And you nailed it. That's exactly what the book and the movie is about. I got interviewed yesterday by a not so friendly local news station here in Washington. The left coast is a little kooky that way, but yeah, I explained that, hey, the movie or the book and the movie is just about my life. So just like you said, it's really telling my life and it's from my eyes and it really tells people exactly what I've been through from basically from birth, unwanted pregnancy, being homeless, in and out of group homes and foster homes and boys' homes and stuff. So going from there to the Marines and then throughout my life and how everything has been geared up to this one fight and explains why I went into the fight, my love for my wife, my country, and my God. And it should be just a big eye opener instead of just reading like the headlines. It explains a lot. And I believe people will be very inspired by it. I think that like after a Rocky movie, they come out and they feel like they could take on the world. And if I could do this, imagine what everybody else could do. So it should be an inspirational title or a book. And the movie itself is just the same. It's going to be the full length feature and about my life and all the silly things that's gone on in over the past years.
Well, we know that book is releasing on all the places where you can find books. I believe it's October 24th. And what can you say about the movie? When are we going to see that?
They start shooting actually at the game. They're coming up and they're doing, because Washington State's a one-of-a-kind state. They have to get all the local shots. So they're sending a film crew up for this weekend to take some shots around here. They're wanting to film, I believe, mid-September. So I believe it takes about a year to make a movie. So it'll be out right about football season next year.
Are you going to be praying on the field? Is that your intention with tomorrow's game?
Yes, absolutely. Same ritual that I've had since the very beginning, back in 2008. And I did that for 8 years where after we congratulate the other team, I'm out there on the 50-yard line. I take a knee, thank God for everything, for what everything's been gone, that the kids just did on the field and letting me be part of it. And then kept, walk off the field. It's, to me, something that is so simple that you never think it would have gone, newsworthy over. But this was a long drawn out battle. And now it's clear that, we can have, religion in the public square. So this will be the first time I've been able to, I guess, legally pray on the 50-yard line.
Wow. That's incredible. I want to focus my last question. It's a bit of a long-winded one about just, the whole journey of faith in general, for not only for you, but for the whole country. These last several years have been pretty tumultuous and divisive times in our country. And not only was your case really big last year, but we had another huge one this year for religious liberty in the case Groff versus DeJoy, about a mail carrier who finally was able to, give the justices to say, like, yeah, I mean, he should have been given, the ability to have a flexible work schedule because he didn't want to work on the Sabbath. And I want to know, I mean, like, what do these rulings mean to you? Like, seeing them back to back, do you feel optimistic about where the country is headed? Does your story, not only yours, but the others that you're hearing out of the Supreme Court and elsewhere, I mean, how does it make you feel?
Hey, yeah, it inspires me. It gives me hope. When I got out of the military, we're blissfully blind to everything on politics and everything. But after I got out and started seeing that, it seemed like, wow, this is the America I've been fighting for. And as you said, each year it seems to get worse and worse. And I think things have to get so bad before they break. And I believe that Americans are at their breaking point. And that's why we're seeing people starting to stand up one at a time and saying, this is not right. And we are going to stand up for our rights as Americans. And if we sat down for too long, we'll sit in our couches and our lazy boys and we'll yell at the TV about, oh, look how bad the country is right now. Well, what are we doing about it? I've always said that, being a Christian and being an American is not a spectator sport. People need to get off their butts and work out to do it. And if you don't want to do that, then don't play on our team. I'm 100% behind anybody that wants to stand up for the rights and rights of other Americans. So I'm there to stand up with them. I think we're at a turning point where people are tired and they know that the government is not going to fix it. The answer is not there. It needs to be with God and with us.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. We look forward to seeing you back on the midfield, taking a knee on September 1st. And for more awesome stories like Joe's, you can go to washingtonexaminer.com. My name is Kaelan Deese for the Washington Examiner.